I wanted to make this video to give you some perspective and so that you can learn about the differences between the life of students in America and the life of students in China. For students in China, Chinese people growing up in China and being students in China, it's not a very easy life for them. Yes, many of them are only children and they do get spoiled in some ways. But in general, the life is much harder for them. They go to school, mostly they go to boarding school, and the boarding school is very strict and they study a lot. Generally, they will wake up very early and they will start their morning classes around 7 or 7:30. And then throughout the day, they have classes, many classes, lunch, and more classes, and they don't really change the classroom. They have their own classroom, and they will stay in that classroom most of the time. The studying and the classes will go into the evening and even into the night, sometimes past 8 o'clock or even until 9 o'clock. And so you can imagine being in classes for sometimes 12 hours every day or even more. And so it's a lot, and the teachers put a lot of emphasis on homework, on giving homework, and so whenever the students have free time, they need to do their homework. And also, if there's a holiday, the teachers will give more homework because they don't have class. So the students are constantly studying and constantly doing homework. In my opinion, it's not very healthy, and I much prefer the American style of learning over the Chinese style. But the Chinese students do learn a lot. They learn fast. Their English is very good in general overall. I remember teaching many students who were in 7th grade, and many of them were even close to fluent in English. So I thought that was very impressive. Now, when the students go home on the weekend, they have a lot of homework that they do on the weekend. And for holidays, let's say, for example, there's a holiday that's on a Wednesday, a special holiday in China. It could be National Day, it could be Dragon Boat Festival or whatever. They will have the Wednesday off, but then they will have class on Saturday or Sunday because they need to make up for that day off that they had for the holiday. So really, they don't get a day off for that. There are holidays such as New Year's, Spring Festival, where they do get several weeks off. But in general, those 1 or 2 day holidays that in America we can enjoy, the students don't really get to enjoy it because they do have that extra day. That day is moved to the weekend to have class. And so also on Sundays, when they come back to school, they continue having class, and this is for many of the schools in China. So really, they don't have Saturday and Sunday off. They get Saturday off and much of Sunday, but Sunday evening classes they still have. When students go home on the weekend, their parents will oftentimes send them to more classes in private centers to learn music like piano, violin, guitar, or Chinese instruments. Or they take math classes, science classes, English classes, because those subjects are very important for getting into college and other things. And so being a student in China is very difficult in my opinion. Also in the summertime, I remember the students showing me their summer homework packets, which is very, very thick. Students who were entering middle school, their packet was very, very thick of all the work they had to do over the summer. It's just and their parents would send them to many classes in the summer as well because they don't have school. so their parents send them to classes, and there's such a focus on studying. Many of the students wear glasses because you can imagine just looking at books and papers and being in the classroom for so many hours, it does take a toll on your eyes. So this was my experience with the students in China. If you are teaching in China or going to China, I think it would be nice if, yes, you give the students a good class, but definitely give a twist on the current style of what they're doing in China. Give some activities that are engaging, that are interesting, that are fun, to help break the routine for them, because they're really looking forward to that. Obviously, don't let things get out of hand, but I think it would be nice for them if they could enjoy that. So that's my experience and my take on being a student in China.